So hopefully the plan is to continue in that vein, practice, fine-tune some of the skills, have a feel of what.
The roar of a packed stadium, the pressure of millions watching, and the weight of an entire nation's hopes resting on one man's shoulders. Some athletes are born into greatness, while others fight for every opportunity they get. Darren Sammy belongs to the second group. His story isn't just about lifting trophies or becoming a cricket legend. It's about proving that leadership, resilience, and belief can overcome even the greatest odds. Long before he became the first captain to lead the West Indies to 2 ICC T20 World Cup titles, Darren Sammy was simply a young boy growing up on the Caribbean island of St. Lucia. He didn't have the glamour, the media attention, or the privileged path that many sporting stars enjoy today. Instead, he had determination, an unwavering dream, and the courage to keep going when few believed he could succeed. Today, Darren Sammy is celebrated as one of the greatest leaders in West Indies cricket history. His inspiring journey has made him a respected figure across the cricketing world, not only because of the trophies he won, but because of the unity he brought to a team that many had already written off. But the road to becoming a world champion was anything but easy. Born on December 20th, 1983, in Dugard, St. Lucia, Darren Julius Garvey Sammy grew up in a close-knit Caribbean community where cricket was more than just a sport. It was a passion that connected families and neighborhoods. From an early age, Sammy spent countless hours playing cricket with friends, dreaming of one day wearing the famous maroon jersey of the West Indies. Darren Sammy has always kept his family life private, with little verified information available about his parents or siblings. Rather than seeking attention through his personal life, he has allowed his achievements on the cricket field to define his legacy. Growing up in St. Lucia, he faced limited resources but developed his skills through determination, local coaching, and relentless hard work. As a teenager, Sammy emerged as a talented, fast-bowling all-rounder, combining natural ability with discipline and perseverance. Breaking into the West Indies team was a daunting challenge, given the region's rich history of cricket legends and fierce competition. Nevertheless, his consistent performances, positive attitude, and leadership qualities helped him rise through the domestic ranks with the Windward Islands. In 2004, he achieved his childhood dream by making his one-day international debut for the West Indies. Although his early international career was inconsistent and often criticized, Sammy refused to give up, using every setback as motivation to improve and prove he belonged at the highest level. Rather than letting criticism break his confidence, Sammy used it as motivation. He worked tirelessly to improve every aspect of his game while earning the respect of teammates through his determination, professionalism, and unwavering positivity. Even when his own performances fell short, he remained a supportive presence in the dressing room, laying the foundation for the inspirational leader he would eventually become. Few people realized that these qualities were preparing him for something much bigger than individual success. His calm personality, infectious optimism, and ability to unite players from different Caribbean nations would eventually transform the fortunes of West Indies cricket. The young boy from St. Lucia had already overcome enormous odds simply by reaching the international stage. But the greatest challenge of his life was still waiting. A struggling West Indies team was about to place its future in the hands of a player that many critics still underestimated. And that decision would change cricket history forever. For many players, becoming captain of an international team is the ultimate reward. For Darren Sammy, it felt more like stepping into the middle of a storm. By the end of the 2000s, West Indies cricket was no longer the unstoppable force it had once been. The days when opponents feared facing the Caribbean giants seemed like a distant memory. Internal disputes, inconsistent performances, and administrative conflicts had taken their toll. When Darren Sammy was appointed captain of the West Indies T20 team in 2010, and later the Test side, many questioned the decision. He wasn't the team's biggest star or its leading run scorer or wicket-taker, and critics argued he didn't deserve the role. Every defeat and every modest individual performance only intensified the scrutiny. Although his personal numbers were solid, more than 3,800 international runs and over 200 wickets across 38 tests, 126 one-day internationals, and 68 T20 internationals, it was his leadership that truly set him apart. He inspired the team to play fearless, attacking cricket, and brought a renewed sense of belief to the West Indies. That leadership faced its biggest test at the 2012 ICC T20 World Cup in Sri Lanka. Entering the tournament as underdogs behind teams like India, Australia, Australia, Pakistan, and the hosts, the West Indies had little external support. Sammy embraced the underdog tag, urging his players to play with freedom, confidence, and the vibrant spirit of the Caribbean, a mindset that would soon change West Indies cricket forever. Players like Chris Gayle, Marlon Samuels, Sunil Narine, Kieran Pollard, Ravi Rampal, and Darren Bravo each played important roles. But behind the scenes, Sammy kept the squad united through every challenge. The tournament wasn't easy. Every match demanded discipline, composure, and courage. Strong opponents tested the team's resolve, but the West Indies continued finding ways to win. Their confidence grew with every victory. Finally, they reached the final against Sri Lanka in Colombo. It was the biggest match of Sammy's career. Batting first in the 2012 ICC T20 World Cup final, the West Indies recovered from an early collapse thanks to Marlon Samuels' brilliant 78. Sri Lanka were eventually bowled out for just 101, giving the West Indies their first ICC T20 World Cup title. The victory transformed Sammy's reputation, proving his leadership qualities and inspiring a new generation across the Caribbean. But his greatest achievement was still to come. Despite contract disputes and off-field distractions, Darren Sammy united the West Indies during the 2016 ICC T20 World Cup, urging his team to ignore the politics and play for the Caribbean. In the unforgettable final against England, the West Indies needed 19 runs from the last over before Brathwaite smashed 4 consecutive sixes off Ben Stokes to seal victory. Sammy lifted the trophy for a second time, becoming the first men's captain to win 2 ICC T20 World Cup titles. The post-match presentation produced another unforgettable moment. Standing on the podium with the trophy in his hands, Sammy delivered a passionate speech that resonated far beyond cricket. He dedicated the victory to the people of the Caribbean and openly criticized the treatment of the team by cricket administrators, saying the players deserved greater respect. Regardless of opinion, Sammy had shown once again that he was willing to stand up for his players, even during the happiest moment of his career. It became one of the defining moments of his leadership. Away from international cricket, Sammy also built an impressive career in franchise leagues around the world. Unlike many players who spend their entire careers representing only one domestic side, Sammy became a true global cricketer. Throughout his career, Darren Sammy represented more than 15 professional teams across the world, including the Windward Islands, Sunrisers Hyderabad, Peshawar Zalmi, Rajshahi Kings, Hobart Hurricanes, St. Lucia Zouks, and Durban Heat. His experience in major T20 leagues enhanced his reputation as a dependable all-rounder and an outstanding leader. Although his international statistics, over 2,000 runs and more than 200 wickets for the West Indies, were respectable rather than record-breaking, they never fully reflected his true impact. Sammy's greatest strength was his ability to inspire confidence and unite teammates. The defining moment of his career came when he was appointed captain, a decision that transformed him into one of the most successful leaders in West Indies cricket history. After retiring from international cricket, he continued serving the game as a mentor and coach, eventually becoming head coach of the West Indies white ball teams, completing his remarkable journey from overlooked player to World Cup-winning captain and respected coach. Yet, while his achievements on the field earned admiration around the world, success also brought financial rewards and a lifestyle many fans became curious about. How much is Darren Sammy actually worth? What luxury cars does he own? Where does he live? And who is the woman who has stood beside him throughout much of his remarkable journey? Those answers reveal another fascinating side of the man behind the trophies. Success on the cricket field eventually opened doors that Darren Sammy could only have dreamed of as a young boy growing up in St. Lucia. While he has never been known for flaunting his wealth or living an extravagant celebrity lifestyle, years of international cricket, franchise leagues, coaching, and endorsements have allowed him to build a comfortable financial future. Because Sammy has never publicly disclosed his finances, estimates of his net worth vary considerably. Most reputable reports place his net worth somewhere between $3 million and $5 million US, although the exact figure remains unconfirmed. Like many athletes, his wealth has been built over many years rather than from a single contract. Darren Sammy built his wealth through international cricket, franchise T20 leagues, coaching, and endorsements. After retiring from international cricket, he continued to earn through franchise opportunities and his role as head coach of the West Indies white ball teams. Sammy also generates income from endorsement deals, public appearances, speaking engagements, and ambassadorial roles. Despite his success, he maintains a modest lifestyle and keeps his personal assets largely out of the public eye. His collection of vehicles reflects that privacy. Although photos over the years have shown him driving premium SUVs and luxury sedans, there is no verified public list of every car he owns. Reports and social media posts have linked him with vehicles from manufacturers such as Mercedes-Benz and Toyota, but Sammy himself has never confirmed the full extent of his collection. Depending on the specific model, these vehicles can range from around $40,000 for a well-equipped SUV to well over $100,000 for a luxury Mercedes-Benz. The same is true of his property portfolio. Sammy has never publicly revealed detailed information about his homes or real estate investments. It is widely known that he has strong ties to his hometown in St. Lucia, where he remains one of the country's most celebrated sporting figures. Any additional property ownership has remained private, reflecting his preference to separate family life from public attention. Perhaps the greatest luxury Sammy possesses isn't a car or an expensive house. It's the respect he has earned around the world. Few captains in cricket history can say they united a struggling team, lifted 2 World Cup trophies, and inspired an entire generation of players. That legacy cannot be measured in dollars. Away from cricket, Darren Sammy is a devoted family man. He is married to Kathy Daniel, and together they have built a family away from the constant attention of the media. Unlike many modern sports celebrities who share every aspect of their private lives online, Sammy and his wife have chosen a far more reserved approach. While they occasionally appear together at public events and on social media, they have consistently prioritized protecting their family's privacy. That decision has earned admiration from many fans, who appreciate the balance Sammy has maintained between his professional success and his personal responsibilities. Of course, no long sporting career is completely free from controversy. The most significant controversy involving Darren Sammy came not because of poor behavior, but because he spoke his mind. After leading the West Indies to the 2016 ICC T20 World Cup title, Darren Sammy sparked controversy by criticizing cricket administrators during the post-match presentation, with opinions divided over his decision to speak out. Years later, he also revealed he had unknowingly been subjected to a racist nickname while playing county cricket in England, prompting important conversations about racism in the sport. Despite these incidents, Sammy's reputation has remained highly respected. Known for his humility, leadership, and selflessness, he now serves as a coach, mentor, and ambassador, inspiring the next generation of West Indies cricketers with his remarkable journey. His journey proves that greatness isn't always defined by individual records. He was never the highest run scorer. He was never the fastest bowler. He was never the biggest superstar in a dressing room filled with cricketing icons. But when pressure reached its highest point, teammates believed in him. And sometimes that's the greatest achievement any leader can earn. From the small Caribbean island of St. Lucia to lifting 2 ICC T20 World Cup trophies before millions of fans, Darren Sammy transformed himself from an overlooked all-rounder into one of the most respected captains in cricket history. His story reminds us that talent may open the first door, but character, resilience, and leadership are what leave a lasting legacy. Long after the cheers have faded and the trophies have gathered dust, Darren Sammy's greatest victory will remain the belief he inspired in others. A belief that no obstacle is too great, no dream too ambitious, and no underdog too small to become a world champion.